Joining us now in an exclusive interview is David Israelite, the CEO of National Music Publishers Association, which is bringing that suit. David, it's great to have you back on the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me back.
So Roblox says you don't fundamentally understand how their platform works. What is your understanding of how it works and how they're using the music?
The problem for Roblox is that we do understand how they're using music, and that's why they're being sued. You have this lawsuit that represents 30 publishing companies, about 1,000 songs. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There actually are a lot more songs that are illegally being used on the site than even in this first complaint. They have an enormous problem. There are some social media companies that license music and are good partners, like YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, and you mentioned Peloton now. And there are some companies that don't, like Twitter and Twitch and Roblox. And the music is a very important part of the gaming experience. Most gaming companies license the music that's in the games. Unfortunately, Roblox doesn't. And what makes it even worse is that they're targeting children. Their customers are mostly underage customers. And they're enticing these kids to put music illegally on their games. And it's really an unfortunate situation.
So as far as your fight goes, does the Peloton case provide any legal precedent of any type on this case?
Well, I think it's a story we've seen with a lot of technology companies where they want to ask for forgiveness instead of permission to use the music. And Peloton did the right thing. And we now have a licensing deal with Peloton, and they're a partner. Roblox has not yet come to that place. I suspect that they either will come to that place or this lawsuit will proceed and more like it, and they'll lose.
I guess as I understand it, David, and correct me if I'm wrong, the big difference, though, compared to Peloton is that this is user-generated content as opposed to the company themselves producing content and them adding the music. Specifically, clearly, they are aware of what users are doing on their platform. But it does create a difference from the Peloton case. And I guess it's quite similar, is it not, to where YouTube was a decade or so ago when lots of people were uploading content and they were also sort of washing their hands from it for as long as they could?
Well, I think that they would like you to think that that's the case, but they have a few problems. One of the problems they have is that these are not children that are just putting music on the game and they have nothing to do with it. They're actually involved in placing the music. In fact, they charge the children money to put the music on the games, anywhere between 50 cents and $4. And so the idea that they're somehow passive victims too and have nothing to do with this is ridiculous. And if you believe their defense, what they're saying is then they want us to go after the children who are putting the music on the games. That's insulting and really shameful. If you're a parent, I think you would have to think twice about a gaming company that's asking kids to use the platform, but is putting them in that jeopardy. We're quite confident that Roblox itself is responsible for the music on the games, and that's why they're the target of these suits.
I don't know how the company would respond, but I would guess it's some version of them not charging children to copyright music. They would also respond by pointing...
They charge children.
They would also point to the fact that they promote music and they do virtual concerts like Lil Nas and Fortnite did one with Travis Scott, and that they actually are very friendly toward artists and musicians in that sense.
Well, if you look at the plaintiffs in this lawsuit, over 30 companies that represent really a majority of the music industry, the fact that they've hosted a few concerts and try to use that as window dressing to suggest they're friendly to the industry is preposterous. They are violating the copyrights of thousands and thousands of songwriters, about 1,000 in this first complaint. And so if we really thought they were a good partner promoting us, we wouldn't be in this position. They're not. They're actually using music to build their platform and to make money for themselves, and they're not compensating the songwriters who make these games attractive for kids to play.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.